Well, this is the first time I've put makeup on in, I don't even know, maybe a month. So, maybe I should go somewhere. Maybe I should fetch my child. She will be so proud of me. But as you can see, I am still in my gown. So the next part of my journey is actually called Rainbows and Unicorns, but I realized I cannot do that one without doing this one. And this one is called The House of Cards. So obviously, as the name implies, the House of Cards, if anyone's ever tried to make them, very, very unstable. They fall like very easily, obviously. But this House of Cards was more like a house of Uno cards because it was full of tricks and deception and lies, basically. So I was in a very, very dark place in my life. When I was 22, and I'm very grateful for this, and I will never ever regret this or wish it didn't happen. But two friends of mine introduced me to God, who basically is someone that nobody could ever convince me doesn't exist. I still get questions now after everything that has happened. Am I still Christian? Blah, blah, blah. And I can understand why people would think I'm not, because I'm go big or go home. So when I was on fire for God, if that's what you guys want to call it, I was preaching and telling everyone about him. I was so excited, as anyone does when they get saved. But after the house fell, I just was like, you know what? I don't want to be that kind of Christian. I don't even want to be called a Christian, because these people I feel like Christianity has a bad name. I feel that it comes with a stigma of like preaching and judging and being everything you're not actually supposed to be. So I decided to rather, preach the word, and if I must, talk. So that's what I've done thus far. I believe that loving people is far more important. I have seen amazing miracles. Miracles are great and all that stuff is awesome, but without love, what have you got? Anybody can do that stuff without giving a damn about anyone. So I decided not to be like that. So basically, I joined a church. It was a very well-known church in KZN, and I was there for a long time, and I'm ex-husband there, and I had a lot of friends, and I was really involved. Literally was there almost all the time, every day. Even though I didn't work there, it was somebody who, if you jump in, you jump in. You don't go half-assed. So I was really, really, really involved. Anyways, it came out that this pastor was drinking and lying and gambling and doing lots of dodgy things that nobody knew about, which I was quite bummed. Everyone was a little bit devastated, which is completely natural because he's been lying to you and he's been telling you what to do and doing completely the opposite. But there was something else actually that hurt me more than that. I can imagine being a pastor is very difficult. You are held to this higher standard and you're on a pedestal, and I feel in some way he did put himself there, but also we all did. So how can we judge him when we were worshipping a man instead of God? Not all of us, but I will tell you that I was a little bit guilty of that. So basically what happened was he kept going, and eventually someone on his team sent a letter to his elders and told them what he was doing, and basically the whole church basically fell apart. When it came down to everyone being honest for a change, it turns out basically his whole team, which were meant to be my closest friends, knew everything that was going on. And I defended this man. Like, I'm that person. I am loyal. I will defend you until the end. But if you have lied to me and I've been defending you, that's bullshit. That's what I gotta say. That's a crap right there. So I was pissed, but I was so much more pissed off with these people because I felt like they were scared. They were too scared to come forward. And I do understand that they may have been victimized and manipulated into not saying anything. And I get that. If anyone understands manipulation, it's me. But I don't feel like that was right. The only person I'd ever want to be friends with again is the person who actually outed this pastor, because that was the only person that had courage and thought about what he was doing and how he was lying to every single person in that church. So yeah, to me, I'm not irritated with the pastor. He fell. It's one of those things. I'm irritated with the people who didn't have the guts to come forward and say something. They should have said something. They should have saved people, because a lot of us fell after that. A lot of us lost the way. And where were they? They went on with their churchy careers and they did what they needed to do, and not even a care in the world. And that's how it was when they were serving this pastor. It was about them. It was save their own butt, not, oh my gosh, he's lying to all these people. They're defending them. And what was irritating was everyone knew I had defended him in a very bad situation where someone called him out in gambling, and I was like, no, he did not gamble. It got to the point where my ex-husband's whole family and my ex-husband and I didn't even have a relationship because of this. And even though all these people knew that he was lying and we were covering it, they didn't say one damn word. Now, I might not be the biggest fan of my ex-husband's family, but you don't let people fall apart for a lie, especially if you're claiming to be their friends, yo. So this is a very short one, and it's literally just to say that this is just my encounter on the situation. So maybe I don't say that. I mean, they bug me a little bit. But this is not about Christians in general. This is about those people in that church, how they betrayed us, how they didn't bother to be there when everything fell apart. People who were not friends. They were just people we went to church with. But maybe I was too naive to even realize that at that time. So, it's one of those things, partly. I mean, 3 sides to a story. So I told you this because my journey with my ex-husband only really starts from this church. And I think that, if I'm very honest, a lot of the church and what we were taught sort of led us down the road that we went. And I don't think that I'll be able to continue telling you parts of our marriage and lies and the fallacies of marriage without telling you that I was in a church. It seemed like a very good church, but there was a lot of lies going on, a lot of manipulation, and honestly just really not great things. If you do know the church I was in and you are offended by this, I'm sorry. It's my truth, it's my story. It's got nothing to do, I'm not here to jab people or ruin anyone's life or be mean. I'm genuinely just saying that to say the rest of what will happen next time on Unicorns and Rainbows. Thank you so much for listening, and follow, subscribe, like. I think I'm supposed to say that. I really don't care if you do. In a rude way, just follow if you want. There's a story here. I would recommend, though, if you're young and you're a girl mostly, and you've been in abusive relationships or bad relationships, or maybe you just feel that pressure that we feel. I don't know what it is. It's like women think by a certain age you have to be married, and then when you're not, you're so disappointed and everything sucks, blah blah blah. We've all been there. I'm sure some men have even been there, If that's you, then this is for you. I would recommend you listen, because divorce sucks. It sucks balls. It's so much better to be single than be divorced. So, we'll see you there.